Hello, everyone, here from Vancouver, um, Canada. Very happy to be here presenting you a very, very nice, intelligent, and courageous entrepreneur. She is also a civil engineer. She has been very successful, and she has a great experience that she will share with us. And this was a very important decision in her life. And as professionals, we sometimes think that we can follow just our professional path, but there are aside paths that we can follow. And here we can hear her experience and see how we can do things aside of our professional career and find different ways to be more successful and as a person and as a professional, as a mom, as part of a family, and also share this with our families. So let's welcome Julieta from Canada, from Laval.
Hi, Monica.
Hi, Julie. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing fine too. Thank you so much. Thank you for accepting my invitation to share your
No,
experience
thank you.
here with the audience.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for inviting me.
It is a honor for me. And well, you have a great experience doing this kind of interviews and have shared lots of experiences, lots of points of view related to this industry, which I think is fascinating. I jumped
Yeah.
into this just a little bit later than you. So I'm following you, following your steps because you have a similar path as a professional. And once I saw you, then I said, well, I have to follow this intelligent and brave lady because she's doing amazing. And well, I would love to hear your experience. If you could introduce yourself, and then if you could share a little bit about your decision, why you choose to follow this path.
Yes, yes. Thank you again, Moni, for inviting me. And hello, everyone. I hope everybody's having a great day, whatever time zone you're in. Thank you for watching us, and I hope you get a good value from Monica's interview today. And I hope I can deliver a good message for you. So, yes, like Monica said, my name is Julieta. I live in Canada, in Quebec province in Laval, but I am originally from Argentina. So, Monica and I, we share our mother language in Spanish. So, as she said, yes, I am a professional engineer. When I came to Canada, I came with my degree from my country, and unfortunately, well, I knew already it wasn't valid here in Canada. So I took the necessary steps, I went through the process of upgrading my education to meet the Canadian standards. And yeah, that's what I did for 5 long and costly years, as I like to call them, because it is a long process and it's costly, a lot of effort, emotionally, economically, and yeah, and it is a difficult process for those who know what I'm talking about. But yeah, that's what you have to do in order to upgrade. Otherwise, you cannot work with your profession in a foreign country. So, and I already knew that, so it was part of the plan. It's just that when you're in it, you don't expect it to be so hard. But yeah, because having a family and stuff, it's and having to work full time as well, it does get very costly in everything, emotionally and financially as well. So yeah, that's me.
Yes, I know it's very difficult. Once I decided with my family to move to Canada, a friend who is also professional told me you need a little bit of craziness to do this because it needs a lot of courage to do
Yeah.
this. You have to leave a lot of things behind, and your your level of life changes so much. So even though we step back into our professions, it is really really tough. And well, same as you, we love our professions. We do this beside of our professions. I mean, what we are doing as entrepreneurs, but still to have an extra income stream and thinking about being that for the long term, because even though we love our professions, maybe we might say in the future, okay, now it's time to think about leaving it and having a plan B, right?
Yeah,
So, so yes, and I think that's something that maybe you want to share.
yes, exactly. Well, in my case, what happened is, I went through the process of revalidating my diploma, and yeah, we you get a good job. You go, you follow, the corporate world, right? Because as engineers, you work corporate, so, and everything is good. It's just that, us, as at least in my case, and you're an immigrant as well, so you most probably will agree, it is hard, having a lot, all your family back home. So you realize that you do, yeah, you do have the job that you were desiring, right? But you don't have extra time, extra flexibility, extra resources to do those extra things, that us as immigrants, we have our parents back home. They don't get any younger year after year, right? And you have that need, to go back home every once in a while, or help your family back home as well. And the reality is that, living in Canada is very costly too, right? So we do make that big move of going to another country, not because we don't love our countries, not because we don't, I don't know, you want to get away from everybody. Not at all. It's all the inverse. We want a better possibilities for us, and that better possibility involves our family, right? Being able to, travel as much as you want back home, bring your parents, bring your brothers or sisters or whatever, or help them in every way you can. But then, you face the reality of living in Canada, and having a normal salary, right? Yeah, you're a professional, you have maybe a little bit of extra salary, or a bigger salary than a normal, different type of work, or somebody who's not professional. But you still, expenses are expenses, and you still have to live. So at the end of the month, at the end of the year, you're not left with much extra, right? So plus, at one point, my family structure changed completely. So I found myself being the only provider for my family, and thank God for my profession as well. um, I was able to support myself, right? But then, at some points, okay, I want to do something different. I want to find something. What can I do? How can I make some extra resources, right? How can I have that extra that I need? And my in at least within my knowledge, I had a couple of very limited options, which was getting a weekend job, or a night shift, some of some kind, or selling some kind of products. And first of all, that didn't match my personality, in the sense of, having to host parties, selling stuff to people, asking for their support. Hey, I'm selling this, would you buy? And then what? Have $2-3 per each item that you sell. That is a lot of effort. And how much do you have to sell for it to make sense, right? And it wasn't on it's not on the way I am, and the way that what I like to do. The other opportunity was getting a weekend job, or some kind of 2-3 hours at night shift of somewhere. But honestly, I didn't have the energy. Even if I would have wanted to do it, I didn't have the energy. Working 40 hours plus per week, at the end of the day and at the end of the week, you're looking forward to having at least a couple of days to rest. um, so it didn't really click any of the boxes of what I was looking for.
Yeah.
So that is kind of why I started looking uh, somewhere, right? And this opportunity, I didn't even know that something online was possible, and especially being legit and transparent, right?
Exactly.
And I really wasn't looking for this opportunity. I just found it by coincidence, or although nothing happens by coincidence, everything happens for a reason. So that's what I believe. So I found this on Facebook, right, on social media, because we are every day on social media, one or the other. We are using it, right? We use the professional LinkedIn as for professionals to leverage and connect with people that do the same job or professions as we have. That is social media, right? Facebook and everything. I was already using Facebook for connecting with my family back home, but I was a normal user, and being a normal user, I saw an ad which I didn't even know it was an ad, because I I didn't know anything. I was just scrolling on my friends pages, or not pages but profiles, to see, oh, their new pictures, oh, they're on vacation, or this or that. And then I saw an ad, which, like I said, I didn't know it was an ad. And this lady, which I didn't know who she was leveraging or talking about how she had left her former realtor profession to being replaced for her online business. And I was like, it caught my attention. I read through her story. It really resonated with me. She was a lady about my age, with kids as well, and I got curious, so I followed her instructions. I don't know if you want me to explain more, or you want to ask me something.
I'm hearing you, and I am I am thinking about, and you made me remember what happened to me, and it happened to me exactly the same way.
Yeah.
Because as I can see, you are also there are billions of people using social media, billions, and out of all ages, and this business can be done above if you are above 18. So there are billions of people that can be reached through this social media platforms, and that's something that we all do every day. And as you said, sometimes we are just scrolling and seeing what are our friends doing, or what can I find there. Same as you, an ad appeared, and same as you, I didn't know that it was an ad. So yes, exactly, that happened to me too. And I was also looking for something aside of what I could do, like this plan B. Yes, please continue your story. It's just fascinating. Thank
So
you.
yeah, after seeing her ad, I got curious. I followed her instructions, which were very simple. I had just had to watch her presentation, and I just signed up with my name and email, and I started receiving a few emails, and I watched not once but like 3 workshops that we call it, to see what this business was about. And what I liked about it was that in every workshop there were different people,
Yeah.
like sharing their story, like I am doing today, but it was just in a larger scale. There were like between 5 and 7 people sharing their story, telling why they got into the online business, what was their background, what were their accomplishments during the time that we're in the business. And I really enjoyed listening to everybody's background or stories and journeys, right? So, and I connected with her, and this is really what we advise people to do your research. If you are interested, and like connect with the person that whose ads you've seen, like in this, or page you're following, whatever, like in this case Monica, connect with her, try to get to know her, create that relationship, because that's the only way you can trust the person. Because in what we do is we put ourselves out there, right? Because I didn't know this lady, right? I didn't know if she was a real person, or but she she was really open with me. She showed me all her family, and she had a business page exactly like ours, right? So in there you could see her entire life. So it does kind of build a trust, the relationship. And because I was here in Quebec, and she was in Vancouver, right? So there was no way I was gonna travel to just see what she looked like, right? So I had to rely on social media to build a trust relationship. But and that's what I did. I got to know her, and then I followed her instructions, and she was really clear with all her explanations, and the workshop is very clear as well. And then I took the next step. I joined the free trial, and here I am. It took me, and in my case, it was more doubts about myself, that if I was going to be able to do this, because in one of the things that inspired me was in one of the workshops, I saw a lady who was also she had an engineering degree. So I said, oh wow, if she is doing this, she has a busy schedule, she has kids, young kids, I this must be doable, right? But at the end of the day, it was my decision to say, okay, I'm willing to try, or I'm just gonna sit back and say, okay, you know what, step back and listen to my fears, or go forward, right? But yeah, it's really everyone's decision. And
Sure.
yeah.
And as any business, it needs you to put an effort, really
Yes.
committed effort, and a daily effort. I compare it with a lot of franchises we can see every day all over the world. And well, if you buy a business, then you have to go and open the door, and you have to see that the chairs are okay. That maybe you need a new chair, and you need a new banner, or you need employees. I think, Scott, we don't need employers here. I mean, we
No.
just rely on ourselves. So that's also good. But for example, we don't have to be worried about any supply chain. I mean, there's no shortage of products or whatever. I mean, we don't have to have products in our house. I can remember you had an interview with this nice gentleman who was talking about his entrepreneurial voyage with other histories, and he said, I didn't want to have to deal with products at home. It was full. My house was like a storage room. It happened to me in the past too.
Yes.
That's something that I just carry my computer and my phone, and I need a Wi-Fi, and that's it. I mean, with it, I can travel anywhere in the world. That's something that also convinced me. I mean, I don't know how many thousands of kilometers away from here. We have business partners that are in Nigeria, that are in Australia and the UK and Germany and Argentina and all over the world. And we
Yes.
can do it all day long. I mean, it depends on your schedule. And that's something that I find fantastic because, for example, if we have a full time, um, I mean, job or occupation, or a moms, or you're a nurse, or you're whatever you are. We have, for example, also firemen here in this business, and wow, it's an amazing job, and it's a high responsibility, and it's a high responsibility and full attention, and then they have to find a space to work on it, and they deal with it, which is I find it fantastic. So
Yes.
yes.
It's really convenient for people who work full time, like us, for example, because I always say my life was already full enough. I didn't need more burdens, to carry around with me. So I needed something slightly simple, right, that I could run, that I could, take care at my own pace when I was available, and not having, reports to hand in, or anybody telling me, okay, up to this date you have to accomplish up to here, or by next month you have to do this. And it really doesn't work like that. And for me, that was great enough, because some days I have time, some days I don't have time. Now we're on vacation, a little bit of time extra we have from school, I mean, right? Because having kids, and then my son has just started high school. So, it was all adapting period, whatever, learning period, for him and for me as well, because I went back to high school with him.
Yes.
So yeah, and it does take a bit of time. It's routine, right? It's family life, so you don't have that extra time to add more to responsibilities to what you already have. So being flexible it's really something that a lot of people benefit from, and you can really leverage anywhere you are. Like when I went back to Argentina a year and a half ago, yeah, well, of course, my business came with me, and while I was there, I was welcoming people, on the business, And even though I was on vacation somewhere else, my business was still running, whether I was taking care of it or just running on its own. At the beginning, of course, there is a learning period. There is a period of time where you will want to dedicate a little bit more time. It's not mandatory. It really depends on there are people that are very, very busy, but once you establish your business and you set up your business, there's a lot of automation done for us, right? So you can be anywhere, and your business is going to be running. And I always put the same example. Like, if I have to do an inspection on my job, I have to be physically present on the construction site, at the office, or wherever.
Exactly.
With this business, sometimes most of part of my day I am at work, right? But I know that my business is running. My social media is taken care of, and the automated part of the business is working for me.
Exactly.
Because that's the way the business is set up for busy people, right? And one thing we have to really share with people is the part of not needing to be tech savvy, because although in our jobs I've worked with computers all my life, right? Because we kind of were introduced at young age at school or whatever. But that doesn't mean I knew how to create my business. Not at all. Like I said, I was a normal user of social media, and I only knew about the greatness or everything that happens behind the screens of social media when I knew about this business, and I started following the instructions to set up my business.
Yeah.
Thank God we have this complete and not complex, but complex in the sense that it's absolutely very complete training that tells us exactly what to do and when for you to build your business page, and a lot of things are not even done by us. Like we have a website, but I never knew before, and I don't know now how to create a website, right? But we don't need to. So
Yes, exactly. That's something that, because even though we might think that we are knowledgeable about dealing with with a computer, with a system, it needs information, it needs knowledge. And the most here, this is so beautiful because we have all the system running, and there's constant training. We have a convention very, very soon, in a couple of weeks. We are meeting in Calgary, which will be amazing because we will meet, I don't know how many, but I think it's thousands of people.
At least 2,000 people.
At least 2,000 people from all countries all over the world, all backgrounds. It's no need, of course, to be a professional just to really connect because of this. But wow, there are all kinds of people that are doing amazing on this business, and it's so interesting to see all these people with the same goal, and at the same time, you and me, we're independent. You don't depend on my results, I don't depend on your results, but we help each other. And I'm interested that you grow, and you're interested that I grow. So because there's in Mexico this I don't know, this dicho, el sol sale para todos, no, sun is always there for everyone. So exactly. There are billions of people that are looking for a different opportunity, a different way to have this extra income, this plan B. What happens if I get fired? What happens if another pandemic starts? What happens if I get ill and I cannot continue working on, for example, me as a veterinary, you as an engineer, that you cannot go to work anymore. I can do it from my computer. This is a tool that can be taken anywhere and in very different scenarios. Wouldn't have to show up in the office. You can do it in your kitchen. You can do it in the car. You can do it while you're shopping, while you're on vacation, while you're on a ship. Sometimes I'm sitting at the seaboat, traveling from one shore to the other shore, and I'm working there. I'm working sometimes in the bus, in the SkyTrain, and you can take it wherever you want. So it depends on how you manage your time, how strong you want to grow. So everything depends on you. We don't have a boss here. We are ourselves, same boss. So the results are completely dependent of ourselves. Well, So
Yes.
you have already been here for 24 minutes. I we could say every week on Tuesdays and on Thursdays at 5 p.m. PST time or 8 p.m. EST
Yes.
time. Yes, there's a webinar. You can join our links. You just have to share your name and your email address, or if you feel comfortable, you can also send a message either to you or me, whoever you feel more comfortable with or more related to. And there you can join those webinars. And if you cannot join at those times because you might be working or busy with your kids or whatever, you can also watch the replays. You just have to register yourself, or we can register you. Just send us your information. We can do it for you. And you can watch this webinars that Julie and I saw some time ago. And you can watch one or two or three. You can watch them how often you want to see them. You just have to feel that confidence that you're joining trustworthy people. And well, you can, it's your choice, and this is a good fit for you. Wow, you would be welcome to join us and also do this kind of things in the future.
Definitely. Yes, yes, yes. We always encourage people to explore, a little bit further than what they know, right? Because like I always put my case, I didn't know anything that was possible. And one of the things that clicked the boxes for me was like knowing that this business is legit. We now we're in the middle of the year, but at the beginning we were in tax season here in Canada, and you receive tax slips from the business. So when I knew that, for me it was like kind of like a no-brainer, because you don't want to get yourself into nothing that could be kind of shady. You don't want to complicate your life or your professional, nothing that could create any kind of conflict. So, yeah, for me that was really important as well, and I think for everybody.
Yes, definitely. I mean, we have to show our faces here, and we don't want problems. We don't want
Definitely. Yeah,
trouble
yeah.
for our families, for ourselves, for our profession, for our backgrounds. No, no way. So yes, Julie, thank you so much. This was so interesting. It was very important for me to share this interesting interview. Once I saw you, I said I have to interview her, and we had settled it since the beginning, and now we did it. And thank you. It's a difficult time. It's like a lunchtime for some people. They told us that they will watch the replay. So
Yes.
uh,
Okay.
yes, yes. So thank you so much again. Have an amazing weekend, evening. I mean, and thanks you for your time.
You're welcome, and thank you for inviting me. Bye,
Uh,
everyone.
Bye.